We had a friend of my wife's come visit us in Spain in middle of February. She had a ticket to fly back to Milan, which is where she was living. And that's when Italy kind of imploded. And she extended her stay with us, but she realized Milan was not safe. She could not go back to Milan. We knew, sort of just watching her, how serious it was in Milan.
I was in France on my study abroad year, and everything seemed fine. I heard there were some cases in France, but honestly, my friends and I weren't too worried about it. We were like, oh, it'll get better. The French healthcare system is good. And it was March 12th or 13th. We were starting to get a little bit more worried because our school had just given us the option to study remotely, or you could still come to class and stuff. So we were getting a little bit more worried about it because we really didn't want to leave. And it was a Wednesday night, and it was a completely normal day, but it's 2 a.m. about to go to sleep. My friend comes in and she says Trump is closing the borders, he's putting restrictions on traveling. And then so I called my parents immediately. And they're like, we're working on getting you a flight home as soon as possible. So it's 2:30 a.m. in Paris. And they're like, you have a 10 a.m. flight out of Charles de Gaulle. And you need to pack up all of your stuff and leave this morning.
I was living in northern Italy at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. Currently on a gap year, and my plan was to study abroad. It took until mid to late February for my friends and I in Italy to realize just how much this pandemic was going to affect our lives. That was about when train stations started closing and when our governor shut down schools and museums and public spaces across the region for a week and then 2 weeks. And then kids started leaving our program and conversations on the street turned to being only about the pandemic.
My daughters are doing online schooling both for their school here in Spain, and then both of them have used the opportunity to kind of reconnect with their California schools. Every day at 8 o'clock at night, the Spaniards get to the balconies and clap. And it's not just tepid, we do this at 8 o'clock applause. It's steady, heartfelt applause. It's like buying war bonds, I guess. You got to feel like you're part of some larger effort. So in this neighborhood in Spain, it's a zillion very small shops. A lot of self-employed people, a lot of shops where they just, they don't make a ton of money. They're all closed. So the economic hurt that I know they must be feeling is really hard.
I had to quarantine for 2 weeks. Couldn't really have any contact with anyone outside of my family for about 2 weeks. Since my classes, all of them are still Paris time. It's kind of hard for me to join in on lectures in the middle of the night. So for the most part, I have to watch recordings, and so I don't really get to talk to my teachers face to face.
To have this dream come true sabbatical go down the drain is a total bummer. If I'd known there was going to be a coronavirus breakout, I wouldn't have gone on sabbatical. I would have stayed at school and stayed at Menlo and tried to help out there, and been at least, if I was sheltering in place, been in my backyard and getting some sun. I'm in an apartment building on the 4th floor of a 8-story apartment building that never sees the sun. But again, I want to make clear, a lot of people are really suffering. So the fact that we're bored is not even remotely close to the suffering other people are going through.
I mean, I'm obviously concerned for, everyone. This could affect really anyone. We keep learning new things every day.
Coming from Italy, a country where I saw nobody stay at home and nobody social distance until absolutely forced to, I can promise you that is not the way to go. I look back on our last couple of weeks in Italy with a lot of confusion and a lot of shame. Confusion as to how we didn't realize what was happening, and shame that we didn't stay home. Because although none of us ever got coronavirus, none of my friends or I, a lot of people we knew are now sick, and everybody is locked at home, and everybody seems to be dying, and it's horrible.